All right, welcome back. Taxes, right? Nobody loves them. But what if I told you there's a way to maybe make it a little less, painful?
Yeah, less painful, maybe even, dare I say, easier.
Easier. Yeah, that's right. So we're diving into this IRS press release,
Mm.
all about online tools that they really want us to use, especially now, President's Day weekend coming up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Big time for the IRS.
Huge. Historically one of their busiest times.
So use the tools. Avoid the phone calls, right?
Exactly. Avoid those long wait times, definitely. Timing of this press release is no coincidence.
So less hold music, more getting stuff done. I'm all for that. What jumped out at you first from this press release?
Well, just how many people file electronically now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot. 93%, they say.
Wow, 93%. That's almost everybody. So are they saying we should all be filing online?
It's definitely the way to go, especially since the IRS has all these free, electronic filing options.
Free? Okay, now you're talking. Tell me more about these free options.
Sure. There are a few choices, actually, depending on your situation, of course. There's IRS Free File. They partner with these tax software companies to
Oh.
provide like guided tax preparation.
Okay.
And it's great if your AGI, your adjusted gross income, is under $84,000.
Gotcha.
So it's like having a virtual tax assistant.
Yeah.
Walks you through it.
Cool.
If you're comfortable doing your own taxes, there's IRS Free File fillable forms
Okay.
available to anyone, regardless of income, actually.
Okay, so free file is guided. Fillable forms is for the DIYers. Got it.
Yeah.
What if you're like somewhere in between?
Then you might want to check out IRS Direct File.
Free file.
Yeah, free web-based service, super easy to use, available in 25 states, and they even have a live chat feature if you get stuck
Oh, wow.
in English and Spanish.
Live chat. That's awesome. I've always wondered about, you see those like free tax prep services advertised like VITA and TCE?
Oh, yeah?
Are those legit?
Absolutely. Yeah, VITA, that's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and then TCE is Tax Counseling for the Elderly.
Yep.
Fantastic resources, honestly, especially if you need a little extra help.
Yeah.
Or maybe prefer like face-to-face interaction. They're staffed by trained volunteers who can, guide you through the whole thing.
So it's not just, they don't just do your taxes for you. They actually like help you understand what's going on.
Yeah, they answer your questions. They can make sure you're claiming all the credits and deductions that you're entitled to, and just generally make the process like less scary.
Right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had no idea these programs existed. And it sounds like they're a lifeline for people who might not be able to, afford to hire a fancy tax person.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then for our military members and some veterans, there's MilTax, a program specifically for them, and no income limit.
No income limits. Okay, that's great. So
Yep.
buffet of free filing options, but once we've, filed, is there anything else these online tools can do for us?
Well, that's where creating an individual online account at IRS.gov comes in.
Oh,
Think of it as your personalized tax hub,
oh, nice.
one-stop shop
Ooh, I like that.
for all things IRS. You can first off access all your tax records, including your AGI,
Okay.
adjusted gross income.
Oh, right, the AGI. I
Mine-
always forget what that is.
Chuckles, don't worry, most people do. Basically, your total income minus certain deductions,
Okay.
key number, used for a lot of things, like figuring out if you're eligible for certain credits and deductions.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So having access to it right there in my account, very handy. What else? What else can you do?
View your payment history if you need to. You can create a payment plan. And you can even manage how you want to communicate with the IRS, like email, text messages,
Instead of like a scary letter.
instead of those dreaded paper letters.
Yeah, sign me up.
Right.
And you said payment plans.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a lifesaver for people who, maybe can't pay all at once.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. More options, more control over their tax situation.
So it's like a control panel for my taxes. Yeah, starting to see why they're pushing this so hard.
It really is. And here's something else that's helpful. You can request an identity protection PI or IPPI.
An IPPI. What is that?
Basically like two-factor authentication for your taxes.
Okay.
6-digit number that prevents anyone else from filing a return using your Social Security number.
Oh, okay. So extra layer of security.
Yeah, protect yourself from identity theft, basically.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to look into that.
Smart move. Tax-related identity theft is on the rise.
And speaking of things that cause stress at tax time, where's my refund?
Oh, yeah.
Right, eternal question.
Yeah.
So is there a tool for that?
You bet. The Where's My Refund tool, it's been updated. More detailed, status messages.
Oh, cool.
Plain language, so you know what's going on.
So no more like deciphering IRS code.
Exactly. It even gives you a personalized refund date, so you know at least when to expect it. And they mentioned that most people claiming the earned income tax credit or the additional child tax credit should see their refund by March 3rd if they, chose direct deposit.
Okay.
So
That's good to know.
take the edge off a little bit.
Takes the edge off the waiting game, for sure.
All without having to call
Right.
and wait on hold.
Okay, this is sounding pretty good. So far, we've got free filing, we've got our, tax command center account, and a way to track our refund without, pulling our hair out. What else is in this treasure trove?
Okay, well, what if you have a specific tax question that goes beyond, like, where's my refund?
Right. I usually just Google it, but who knows if that's right.
They have this thing called the Interactive Tax Assistant.
Okay.
It's like your personal tax guide,
Oh, interesting.
right at your fingertips.
So like a tax expert? An AI tax expert.
You could say that, so you can ask it specific questions about your,
Yeah.
individual circumstances,
Okay.
and it'll give you tailored answers.
So not just like generic information. It's actually like for me.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. What kind of questions can you ask it?
Well, like, what's your filing status?
Mm.
Can you claim certain dependents?
Okay.
Is this income even taxable? Are you eligible for, certain credits or deductions?
Wow.
Really helps you, navigate those trickier situations.
So it's like having a tax expert on call, like 24/7,
Yeah,
but without the hefty, hourly rate.
exactly.
I like that.
It's a pretty amazing resource, honestly, and it doesn't stop there. They also want to make sure you're prepared, like, before you even start filing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Getting all that paperwork together. That's always the worst. I feel like I'm constantly like digging through files.
Oh, I know. So they provide these checklists and resources on IRS.gov to, help you get organized. They even have a section on Form 1099-K, which you might get if you've earned any money through, like, online platforms like Etsy, Airbnb.
1099K. You know what? Actually, I did some freelance work on Upwork last year. I wonder if I'm going to get one of those.
It's worth checking out, honestly. They have a whole page on it on IRS.gov.
Oh, okay.
Explains what they are, what to do with them if you get one. Really helpful.
Wow, they're going above and beyond here. It's like they're actually trying to make this easy.
It seems like it.
Wow.
And there's another time saver you might like. You can access certain tax forms online
Really?
through your individual online account.
Instead of like requesting them and waiting.
Exactly. Copies of your W-2s, 1095As for health insurance, 1099 NECs, non-employee compensation.
This is amazing. It sounds like they're finally like embracing the digital age.
They're definitely making progress.
Okay, so we've covered filing options, online accounts, tracking refunds, getting answers to our specific tax questions, accessing forms. What else is there?
Well, there's one more thing they want us to be aware of, and
Yeah.
and it has the potential to put some serious money back in your pocket.
Okay, lay it on me. What is this secret weapon for getting more money back?
It's not exactly a secret, but it is something that a lot of people miss out on, the earned income tax credit.
The EITC?
Or EITC.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. I just never really looked into it that much.
Yeah.
Isn't that just for like low-income families?
It is for low to moderate income workers and families, and a surprising number of people don't even claim it who are actually eligible for it.
Really? How much money are we talking about here?
It could be hundreds or even thousands of dollars,
Oh.
depending on your, income and filing status and number of qualifying children.
Wow, so that is serious money.
Yeah, it can make a big difference.
Why do you think so many people miss out on it?
Life gets in the way sometimes, or they just assume they don't qualify, but the IRS really wants to make sure people are aware of the EITC, and they actually have a tool to help you figure out if you're eligible.
Oh, nice. Okay, so how do we know if we qualify? Is it complicated?
Not at all. They have the EITC assistant tool on IRS.gov. Answer a few questions and it'll tell you if you're eligible. It estimates how much you can get, and it even suggests like the best filing status for you.
Okay, I'm bookmarking that for sure. Free money from the IRS. Can't say no to that. But, with all this talk about these tools and filing online and stuff, it makes me wonder about folks who maybe aren't so comfortable with technology.
That's a good point, and it's a real issue. But the IRS knows that Not everyone has equal access to technology, or, maybe they just don't have the skills to use it.
Right.
So that's where those community partnerships come in.
Okay.
Like the VITA and TCE programs, those free tax prep services, they're really helpful for people who maybe need extra help due to like language barriers, disabilities, or just, not being comfortable with computers.
It's like they have a safety net for people who aren't part of the digital world.
Exactly. It's all about meeting people where they are and providing support in a way that makes sense for them and trying to make the tax system accessible for everyone.
I love that. So whether you're tech savvy or you prefer the personal touch, it sounds like the IRS has you covered.
Yeah.
But speaking of the personal touch, a lot of people rely on tax professionals to kind of, navigate all this stuff. Is there any guidance on choosing a tax preparer in this press release?
There is, and the IRS really stresses how important it is to choose someone reputable and make sure they have your best interests in mind.
Of course, yeah.
Do your research, before you hand over your sensitive financial information.
Big responsibility to trust someone with your taxes.
It is. So you want to make sure they're credentialed, right? Look for someone who's an enrolled agent, a certified public accountant, or a tax attorney.
Okay, so credentials are key. What else should we watch out for?
Be really wary of anyone who promises you like a huge refund or if they base their fee on a percentage of your refund.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of red flag.
Yeah, big red flag. A reputable preparer will charge you based on how complicated your return is, not how much money they get you back.
All right, makes sense. Transparency is key. You want to make sure you feel comfortable with the person handling your taxes. And speaking of feeling comfortable, let's talk about identity theft.
Oh, yeah, definitely a big concern these days. And the IRS knows it, so they have a whole section in the press release on protecting yourself from tax-related identity theft.
Now that you mention it, we were talking about that identity protection PIN earlier. That seems like a good way to protect your social security number so someone can't file a fraudulent return.
It's a great way to protect yourself, and it's so easy to get. The fastest way is to create an individual online account, which, you should be doing anyway.
Yeah, for all the other reasons we talked about.
Exactly.
So online account equals IPPIN. But what if, despite our best efforts, we think we've become a victim of identity theft?
Well, the IRS has a whole page dedicated to that on IRS.gov.
Okay.
They have steps you can take if you suspect you're a victim. They even have a special form, the Identity Theft Affidavit Form 1.039.
Good to know they have resources for that, because that just sounds awful, so overwhelming.
It is stressful, but they're there to help you get things back on track.
This is all such good information. I feel a lot more confident about, doing my taxes this year. But sometimes it's easy to get bogged down in all the little details, and kind of lose sight of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
What does the IRS say is their ultimate goal with all of these online tools and resources?
They really want to empower taxpayers.
Yep.
They want people to feel like they're informed and confident and in control of their tax situation.
Knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. And when you understand how things work and you have the tools to, manage your taxes, it takes away a lot of the fear and uncertainty.
It's true. Instead of feeling like the IRS is this big, scary entity, you actually feel like you're an active participant in the process.
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference in your experience.
Okay. All of these tools are definitely worth checking out, but let's be real. Some things you just can't do online.
That's true. Sometimes you just need, a human touch.
All right. So while the IRS is doing all this great stuff with technology, they also recognize that there's still a need for that human interaction.
Absolutely. And that's why they're working to strengthen their partnerships with those community organizations that provide free tax help. And they acknowledge the importance of tax professionals in helping people navigate the tax code.
It's like a team effort, really. The IRS community groups, tax pros, and us regular taxpayers all working together.
Exactly.
But even with all that support, sometimes things go wrong.
Yeah, that happens.
We might end up owing more than we expected or getting a smaller refund than we hoped for. It happens.
Yeah, it can be a bummer.
So is there anything in this press release that addresses those kind of tax time disappointments?
Well, remember that tax withholding estimator we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah. That was the tool that helps you figure out how much tax to withhold from your paycheck.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of skimmed over that part.
Well, it can really help you avoid those unexpected tax bills or the, smaller than expected refunds.
Okay, tell me more. How does it work?
So you just enter some information about your income and dependents and other stuff, and it calculates how much federal income tax you should be having withheld from your paycheck.
Okay, so it helps you stay on track throughout the year so you don't get any big surprises when you file.
Exactly. And it's especially helpful if you've had a major life change, like getting married or having a baby or starting a new job.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Those things can really affect your taxes.
Yeah. So you want to make sure your withholding is correct.
It's like a checkup for your withholdings.
Exactly. And if you do need to make adjustments, it's super easy. Just submit a new Form W-4 to your employer.
Wow. This is good stuff. I wish I'd known about this before.
Well, never too late to start using it.
True.
Yeah.
True. And, this just shows how committed the IRS is to making tax information accessible and easy to understand.
Yeah, they're trying to speak our language.
I love it. It's like they finally entered the 21st century.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, but I have a feeling this is just the beginning. What do you think the future holds for the IRS and technology?
Well, I think we're going to see even more innovation and personalization. Imagine AI tools that can actually anticipate your needs and give you advice based on your specific situation. Or what about virtual reality experiences that make learning about taxes actually fun and engaging?
VR tax world.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I do like the idea of more personalized guidance. It's like having your own personal tax advisor right in your pocket.
Exactly. Using technology to create a less stressful and more intuitive tax experience.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So with all these fantastic resources, where should people start?
I mean, as we've said throughout this whole deep dive, IRS.gov is really your one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah.
Filing your return, finding answers to your questions, all the tools and resources. And they even have this page called Let Us Help You, which is a great starting point.
Let us help you.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to be spending some time on IRS.gov. I can't believe how much useful information we got just from this press release.
It's been a good deep dive.
It really has.
Yeah.
We learned about free filing options, the online account, how to track refunds, get personalized guidance, protect ourselves from identity theft.
Yep.
My mind is blown in a good way.
That's good.
It's really empowering to know that these resources are out there and they're easy to use. It takes away so much of the stress of dealing with taxes.
I agree. And you know what the best part is? The IRS is constantly working on and improving their online tools.
Oh, wow.
So it's only going to get easier and better in the future.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Now, before we wrap up, there's one more thing from the press release that I want to touch on. It's not just about the practical stuff. It's about a bigger issue.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
The IRS talks a lot about making sure everyone has equal access to these tax resources.
Right.
No matter how much money they make, or their background, or their comfort level with technology.
Yeah, equitable access is so important.
Yeah, it's like they're really trying to level the playing field here.
Absolutely. And they're taking steps to actually address that. They offer resources in multiple languages. They have the in-person assistance through those programs we talked about,
All right.
partnering with community organizations to reach those, underserved populations.
That's great. It's easy to get cynical about taxes, but this makes me feel a bit better. Like they're thinking of the big picture.
Yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction. And it kind of reinforces that, taxes aren't just about collecting money. It's also about supporting the well-being of society.
Right. We're all in this together. Okay, so we've explored all these amazing tools. What's the one thing you hope people take away from this?
I think knowledge is power, right? Especially with taxes. The more you know about what's out there, what's available to you, the more confident you'll feel. Don't be afraid to, go to IRS.gov, ask questions, and get help when you need it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's amazing how much they've embraced technology to make this easier. I mean, a few years ago, going online with the IRS, it was terrifying. But now it feels manageable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see how technology can, improve things, even for something like taxes.
It's like they finally joined the 21st century. I'm all for it. This feels like just the beginning, though, right? Where do we go from here? What do you see? What do you think the future of, the IRS and technology looks like?
Well, I think, we'll see more innovation, more personalization. Imagine AI tools that can actually anticipate your needs and proactively give you guidance, or maybe even virtual reality experiences to make learning about taxes, fun.
A VR tax world. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But personalized guidance.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like having a little tax advisor, right in your pocket.
Exactly. Just making the whole tax experience less stressful, more intuitive. I love it. All right, so before we go, let's leave our listeners with something to think about. We've seen how tech has revolutionized, taxes. What other parts of personal finance do you think could use some, disruption and innovation.
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, we've seen amazing things with, online banking, budgeting apps, investing platforms. But what's next? What if you could have like this one dashboard that pulls all your financial data together?
Oh, that'd be amazing. See everything, income, expenses, investments, retirement, even your credit score, all in one place.
Yeah, and what if it gave you like personalized recommendations? Like, hey, you could save more here or pay down debt faster or even like invest smarter.
Like a personal finance advisor in your pocket. I love that. And, speaking of advisors, what if tech could help us find like qualified financial professionals more easily?
Right, take out the guesswork, make it more accessible for everyone.
Exactly. So much potential. All right, well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Hope you learned some valuable stuff about using these online tools from the IRS. Remember, knowledge is power, and with these tools, you can tackle tax season head on.
Happy filing.